Make sure they get up. We should be live. We should be live. What's up with y'all, man? It is your boy West Coast. There we go. Got the alert, man. What's up with you, man? It is your boy West Coast, the one-armed cowboy, man. And I'm here with the boss, man. You already know what it is, man.
Welcome back. What's up with you, man? Big day.
Hey, can I hit it? Oh my God, we back at it again.
Oh yeah.
In the Cowboy Stadium, and we trying to get that win. I said, oh my God, back at it again. Hey, we be at these, we be covering these games like this our job or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Man, it's easy work, right?
Easy work, man. Hey, Marcy, can you do me a favor? Can you please share in the scout group and let the scouts know we are live in the building, please? I'm about to go ahead and get live on IG real quick. I got Boss Cowboy, and hey, swinging through here, we also got the world famous YL.
Oh yeah.
Star of one of the stars in the movie. Go ahead.
Hey man.
What's the name of the movie?
I'm here. Dallas, Texas. We here. We back again. Another weekend. Here on the anniversary of my first movie I'm in. My name is Dolomite. Dolomite's my name. It's in theaters October 4th. Today in select theaters. Y'all can check it out. Go check on Dolomite's my name movie.com. Y'all see where it's showing in your city, your state, or whatever that is. October 25th, it's gonna be on Netflix, man. So it's a beautiful thing out here in Dallas, man.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you guys, we are not at the game having fun. We are working.
Absolutely.
This is work. So let's get to work.
Let's go.
All right. So, yo, man, we live on Instagram. I got Texas Girl over there. I got Brian over there. Boss Cowboy, who you got on? I see you got some folks on the live on there, too.
Yeah, obviously we see Leroy. What's up? He say fam. And then obviously we got Scout Jaquez in the house and my boy Kerry. Let me do this. I'm going to kick a shout out to you, Kerry. You know how we rock. You know, from H-Town, we got to tilt our head to the side so we know. And then obviously we have the lovely Marcy and Renal and my boy Rodney. Now, Rodney been rocking and he been putting some fire stuff in the comments.
Hey, I know. Hey, Rodney came. Hey, Rodney, I'm actually going to be adding you to the Scout chat box. So make sure you get on your boy West Coast about there. Make sure you get in there because some, you know, I see the supporter tag. I got to make sure that you are around other scouts. Remember, y'all, scouts just simply means that you're just a serious Cowboy fan and you're out to uncover the truth. You want to know why? Because we know Jerry Jones in his lying. I ain't gonna use my one cuss word for that, but y'all know Jerry Jones be lying, man. Like, come on, man. All right, hi.
Hey, man, you know
we
what?
are not going to reset the market with our players. It's not going to happen here in Dallas. What Zeke get? 90 million. But that's why, hey, that's what lets you, that's called job. My mama say that's called job security.
Negotiations.
Well, that's job security too.
Oh, yeah.
Because as long as he lying, that means we got jobs. You know what I'm talking about?
Somebody performing.
Hey, but hey, man, we here to tell the truth, and this is the truth, man. The truth is this, man. You're going into this Green Bay game. I'm going to tell you right now, man, I'm about to sleep like a baby tonight. I'm going to sleep like a baby like Saturday night too. Because guess what, man? Aaron Rodgers ain't going to beat these Dallas Cowboys, man. If the Dallas Cowboys take on these 5 points that we're going to talk about tonight, and that is our little 5 secrets on how the Dallas Cowboys can get out of here in their own stadium with the dub.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Someone told me the other day, they say, West Coast, are we the underdogs? I'm like, how are we the underdogs in our own stadium against a team 3-1? Because they got Aaron Rodgers. I said, dang, y'all boys really scared of Aaron Rodgers like that?
Yeah.
Aaron got y'all in y'all feelings like that? Now, I know the Cowboys under Dak since 2016, we 1-2. But it was cold that night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First, this is my thing. My first point with these Dallas Cowboys, and I see you guys over there on Instagram. How y'all doing? This is my first thing on what I think the Dallas Cowboys need to do, and it's the video I dropped earlier today. The Green Bay Packers, over the last 2 weeks, have given up. They gave up 173 to Philly.
Right.
They gave up 198 to Minnesota.
Okay.
Now, neither one of those dudes have a Zeke and Pollard. Neither one of those teams have that.
Okay.
They got some stout running backs, but that's still a lot of yards, especially from Philadelphia, who's not known to run the ball.
Okay.
So the first thing I say, hey, if it's working down the street, why can't it work here? My first key to the night, and honestly, it's going to be some good fruit coming from it too.
Okay.
And that is run de football. I said it in French. Why? Because sometimes we say stuff in English and people don't get it. So I figured I'd say it in French. Run de football. Protect the clock and keep Aaron Rodgers and his mustache on the sidelines. What are your thoughts, man?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's how can you not? You know, so it just makes sense to run football and throw the football. But this is a game to where you have to soften them up, I would say. Like, you have to attack the middle, and sometimes you want to kind of go right back and say, you know what, I want to give my guys a chance to rebound.
Yeah.
Because you still have pro bowlers with pride in the middle that took an L. I don't want to abandon Frederick Neal like that, right?
Yeah.
I want to kind of stick it out, stick with it. And, you know, as long as they, you know, give them, I think, at least 3 series of real serious commitment to the run game, we'll have an indication if it's really our offensive line kind of declining right now and injured, or do we need to abandon and start throwing. But the way that they perform, especially with the stats that you just put out there, it's kind of like a no-brainer that we have to run the ball.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you guys, I told you guys in my video earlier today that there was a byproduct that you get. It's kind of like when you plant a seed, that seed turns into a tree, and at some point you might be able to eat a fruit.
Right.
The fruit of running the ball is this. One, I ain't scared of Aaron Rodgers, but I will respect what he's done in Dallas before, and that is I'm going to limit his possessions. How do I limit his possessions? By flat out not giving him the football. Aaron Rodgers can't throw touchdowns. He can't be Aaron Rodgers without a football in his hand, because he don't play on defense. So that's what's one byproduct that I love about running the ball is you're gonna, this defensive line doesn't have your boy, what's your boy that used to be on their defensive line? Daniels. They don't have Daniels no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this defensive line is in a rebuild phase.
Right.
You know, one thing I also like about the teams, that the Eagles are not a team that commits to the run. So if they were able to get out there and get 176 yards, and they're not a team that I've ever known to commit to the run, that lets me know that the Dallas Cowboys, a team who will commit to the run, should be good. You know what I'm saying?
And then the good news is Kevin King is out.
Kevin King is out.
So,
and your boy Adams.
He had a first-round grade coming out, and he was actually playing pretty good. I didn't think he matched up anyway with our guys, Gallup or Cooper, but with him being out, that's just a bonus. It's almost like this is a test, or I would say, let's test the theory. Can a quarterback carry a team? Because that's what they've been saying Aaron Rodgers can do.
Yeah.
Because at this point, this is what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to make them miss him and avoid pressure, throw to receivers. They're big, but they not route runners. So he got to be super accurate all day, with guys more than likely in their hips. And, you know, and then he's have to go turn around and, you know, protect the football. He's going to have to do everything. So, no, I don't really think it's going to happen. I saw it with Dallas coming out definitely with the dub, especially running the ball, taking control of the game. I see it pretty convincingly. Like, I can see us winning easily by 7 points.
Okay. Another thing that I would like to see, because that was the first point. Actually, before I give my second point, Boss Cowboy, is there a point that you think is very important to this game?
Yeah, because we talked about offense a lot, especially early in the week. The one thing that I also think is, how do we stop Aaron Rodgers? And, you know, given that thought, one of the things that they did to Mahomes' receivers when they was playing him in Detroit kind of showed a formula for a good quarterback. But the good thing is you can go against a quarterback with average receivers in there, and what Detroit did to Mahomes is they played press man all game.
Okay.
And what they did is they gave him very, very hard throws, and it was mistiming them.
Yeah.
So all that aggressive bump coverage, and when you have kind of tall but average receivers, you want to disrupt them. And that makes it harder for Aaron. And then another thing, I think you have to kind of play containment ball with him. Don't let him try to improvise. Like, contain him. So it's like gap control is going to be the most important thing, I would say, on the defense, as well as being aggressive on the bumpers. And occasionally even going after him, like softening him up and blitzing him, like getting him shook up, make it hard for him. So I think if we come out like that and don't come out like, well, we respect you and we're gonna zone up on you and we're gonna you're Aaron Rodgers. It's like, yes, he's Aaron Rodgers, but bet on him, but bet against his receivers.
Exactly. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing I'm gonna tell you what happens when Adams is out. That means their number 2 is now their number 1.
Right.
So when you're manning up, that means their number 2 wide receiver is gonna be on our number 1 corner.
Yeah.
And my thing is this: Addison, what's his name? Addison, the other wide receiver they have up there, in Green Bay. Is Addison? I forget, his name slips my mind. But I mean, he's a quick guy in and out of his breaks. But I mean, I don't see nothing that the Dallas Cowboys can't contain. Man, I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anything that, any wide receiver on their team that's overtly. Now that tight end, I ain't gonna lie. But one thing I love about our corners and our safeties, we have a corner who specializes in shutting down tight ends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and they don't have a tight end that's more versatile than a that boy Ertz, who we see 2 times a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean that, I feel really comfortable about that. My second, I guess we could say third. This is the third key, but my second thought on this game also is the fact that their offensive line is not where it should really be. That boy Balaga, I can't say his name, but he went down last week. He didn't finish the game. You know what I'm saying? Now he's been limited every day this week, you know what I mean? But limited and you didn't finish a game, I'm like, that means you barely trying to decide if you're gonna play or not. You know what I'm saying?
Point.
So, and guess who he sits in front of? D-Law.
Right.
So even if they do try to double team D-Law, you're gonna be double teaming him with a fully healthy guy and a half healthy guy. That's still 1.5 guy. I'm still gonna take my odds with D-Law. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much giving away my second video, but I definitely believe that the Green Bay is gonna be smart. And they're going to do what they're supposed to do, and that is what? Watch film and see Robert Quinn just absolutely destroy that defensive line. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to say, hey, we're going to compensate for that by doing what? We're going to put the power protection on that side. Why? Because Quinn is the guy who's been killing. And then guess what? Maybe that leaves some opportunity for D-Law to have a breakout game and get back in his swag. I know a lot of people are hating on D-Law and they ragging on him, but think about this. You guys are loving Quinn because his explosion. When Quinn has 3 sacks, D-Law has 2.5. Ain't too much difference between that. And you got to remember that what? D-Law is what? One of the highest defensive ends in the NFL. That means what? That means he's pretty good at what he does. That means when offensive coordinators look at him, they're still like, even though he may not be getting off the way we think he is, we're still going to respect him and put a double team on him. That's why he's seeing 36% of it. It's kind of like when people kind of like, Dez's last year, we got our first dead sizing. I got to say Dez at least one time on the show. But like Dez last year in Dallas, I know a lot of people were saying, oh, Dez is this, Dez is that, he sucks and he's not good. But guess what? I still seen teams double teaming him.
Right.
Why? Because just because we don't think he's good doesn't mean a defensive coordinator doesn't think he's good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just because you may think that D-Law is not playing well right now, that offensive coordinator is still going to be like, man, that's DeMarcus Lawrence. And at some point, he is going to get going. And theoretically, he is going. He got 2.5 sacks. I mean, he's on pace right now to have 11 sacks this year.
Right.
So I mean, I don't, and he had 10.10 last year. So I don't know.
Tank is like the Zeke of the defense, you can say, right?
Basically, yeah, he's
So
a free
Zeke,
super player.
Everybody especially knows that Zeke is going to command everybody's attention with the running game. The exact same thing, and great point on, Tank doing the same thing, which opens it up for Quinn.
Yeah.
So it's
like, why do y'all think? I mean, and I love Quinn, and I'm not taking anything from him because that's how defenses work. But at the same time, how do you guys think Quinn was able to get free releases coming off of a line?
Right.
Why? Because that means that the guy that was supposed to be in front of him was standing in front of Tank.
facts.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah,
that's just real.
And then one good thing too when I look at trends, right? Let's look at the beneficiaries of the people that take the most attention. So obviously on defense is Quinn. That's going to get a bump in his performance likely because of the over reinforcements they putting on Tank. But then also with that, right? So with Dak, he's also, I believe, gonna have a real good game, mostly because of Zeke. If they know, and they have to account for Zeke trying to run the ball with their bad run history, they have to account for that and plan for that, because you're gonna say, where are we weak, and more than likely that's where we're gonna attack. So when Zeke is able to soften them up, that's gonna also give Dak a lot of throws.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at Kevin King and he's out and all that kind of stuff.
I was actually looking forward to seeing him play. I ain't even gonna lie, because Kevin King is a guy who makes West Coast and Boss Cowboy look smart, because like we both were kind of we both liked him, and it's funny because this is a guy that before I even knew who Boss was, this was a guy who I was talking about when he got drafted.
Yeah.
So I wanted to look at Kevin King and kind of like look at him and be like, when he playing well, I'm not tooting my own horn, but you know how when you see somebody on another team playing well and you're like, I said he was going to be good.
No, you have to.
Like I said that.
I mean, that's the fruits of our work. You know, when we do all the off-season work.
Yeah. Like ram check from the Saints.
And then it sharpens us, you know. So when we do this, it's an exercise. It's a season exercise where the guys that you picked and the guys, because you know we don't put everybody on our board. We put about 60 players. That's it. We put 60 players. That's it. So we're not going for all 400, right?
Yeah.
We're not trying to flood everybody. But when you pick, it's like fine-tuned.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a guy. I look at another guy for Denver, Sutton. I was high on Sutton, and I see him emerging. So it's a test of your judgment where you say, where did we get it right, where did we get it wrong?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was looking. I wanted that was actually a matchup that I wanted to kind of see. You know what I'm saying? But so as of right now, what do we? I mean, as of now, we have what? Run the ball.
Yeah.
Then we had your point, which was what? The second point.
Yeah, we talked about the double team of Tank is gonna open up Quinn.
Double team Tank is gonna open up Quinn.
And then we talked about the right tackle being out. We talked about pressing, running press man coverage. To try to disrupt the timing on average receivers, especially because they're big. You want to disrupt their timing and make it hard for him to make his laser throws. You know, because if they run zones, then you have those big guys picking spots.
Yeah.
And then that's where he can just be real quick in his drop back and get the ball out. But if you run press on them, they go try to pick route you, and it's a chance to yak from that type of stuff. But at the same time, you go get them on the ground.
Yeah. Also, we got an update on Michael Gallup. We got Michael Gallup should be coming back into the lineup on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are really, really excited about that. So Michael Gallup should be back in the lineup come Sunday. Shoot, man, what are your thoughts on Michael Gallup and his addition back to the Dallas Cowboys and what he's going to be able to bring to this offense?
I'm nervous. I am nervous because it's so early. You hearing reports that it's taken 2 weeks and he can play? Off of surgery, Dez took 3.
They said he was begging the coaches to actually come back last week.
Yeah. And it's sometimes you gotta save them from themselves. So I would hope that they limit him and give him limited reps. Don't push him too fast and too soon, I would say, because I want him for the long haul. So I don't feel good about that. That might be that eerie feeling that's in the air. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm not as excited as if we just waited and made sure he's 100%. Even though I want him to play, I want him for the long term.
Yeah, I mean, this is my thing. I think the Dallas Cowboys are one of the more cautious teams in the NFL. As you hear, we have an MRI machine at the building. Why? Because we want to be able to be cautious. So with a team that takes that precautions and they understand, think about this, Donovan Wilson got tweaked and he hasn't played at all this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, there also might be some politics there too, but I'm saying, I think if the Cowboys were, Tyron Smith's not playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
I want to believe that that the Dallas Cowboys will be as cautious as possible. Yeah. Hey guys, my scouts. Hey, I know you guys absolutely love Joe in the chat, but I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I cannot add anybody to the video. So please, don't send no requests because I can't accept any of them. This video is sponsored by Cowboys Packages. Remember, if you guys want those exclusive packages, you want to be able to be at games like West Coast and Boss Cowboy, man, YL, we want to come to the events. Remember, this Saturday, tomorrow, we will have Jalen Smith in the building. Jalen Smith, 3 o'clock at the Omni. It's going to be live. It's going to be absolutely live. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow also because this whole trip and everything about it is sponsored by Cowboys Packages. We're gonna be interviewing Jalen Smith tomorrow, talking to him about his minority program that he has that's building the kids from the backbone up, man. Like, this guy has a degree and got a big paycheck. That's crazy, right? So yeah, man. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow to make sure you guys see that video. What's up with you, Justice? What's up with you, P-Lope? What up with y'all? Hey, man, I appreciate all y'all. Hey, what's some of y'all tips for tomorrow? What's some of y'all thoughts? Because a lot of times we give you guys our feedback, but you guys have good feedback too. Yeah. So I'm about to add. Texas Gal said, "Congratulations, YL." What are some of y'all's tips for tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Before I get you guys' tips on the comment box, we're gonna talk about this Dallas Cowboy offensive line, man. Right. Your offensive line is probably gonna be Cam Fleming at tackle. Beside him, you're gonna have Connor. I want to say you're gonna have Connor Williams. It was Xavier, but they moved Xavier Sulafule. He wasn't playing. He wasn't practicing. Well, he wasn't practicing with the starting offensive line. So then, at center, you're gonna have Travis Fredericks. At guard, you're gonna have Zach Martin, and then at tackle, they had Brandon Knight, but they also said that La'el Collins was, even though he was not practicing, was gonna try to give it a go, which is kind of weird to me because usually the Cowboys want to make sure they have that 3 days, and they even made an emphasis today when they were talking about Gallup, how they said that Michael Gallup had 3 days of practice and they felt that he was good.
Right.
But then with La'el Collins, they're saying that he hasn't practiced in 2 days, but then he might play. So that's weird to me. I ain't gonna lie. Right. What are your thoughts on this offensive line, man?
It's concerning, especially because it's early. When you're seeing a lot of them already banged up early, it's very concerning, especially when there's a rumor and there's a feeling that they're the backbone of the team. One very, 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 very good light of hope in this whole thing is our offensive line played bad last year and we won games. So
56 sacks.
So we've been tested with a bad offensive line before, so it's something that at least we can say we have a ton of experience with. So they banged up. This game plan also need to help them, and that's why we also need to run the ball. Because if we run the ball, it's helping them because they get to lay on people and they get to bully people versus in pass pro, you're almost on your heels and you backing up more so trying to protect the quarterback, and it's allowing people to bull rush you and get you kind of in awkward positions that can hurt your back and all kind of stuff.
Running the ball make everybody life easy.
Yeah, so it's a lot of reasons why we should run the ball. So when I think about the offensive line, it makes me know that we need to be conservative and take big shots. If we take big shots, we're gonna have to do it quick. It can't be something to where we're doing some major drop backs and going through all kind of reads. Get the ball out your hand, try to make a strike like a fade or stop and go. Pretty much quick strikes like that, but not a drawn-out offense and a drawn-out passing game.
I ask you a question, Boss Cowboy. So, also, your quarterback, Dak Prescott, so with Kevin King out, that means there's going to be a backup in his place. And then you also remember that they did invest a first-round draft pick into this safety named Savage who's going to be playing. So, Dak Prescott is going to be throwing up against a rookie and a backup at times. Now, they haven't, I got to do a little bit more research. I'll have the name on the backup, but I'm not, a backup is a guy that's trying to get a starting job. That's a pretty damn hungry guy to me. You know what I'm saying? But tell me about this Savage kid who's Dak's who's going to be playing mind games with, because quarterbacks play mind games with two people, and that's your middle linebacker and your safety all game. Right. That's why they have so much respect for each other.
Yeah, when I scouted Savage is a very fast safety. When you see a safety run a 4.3, I mean, you can get by playing safety with a 4.6 and be elite. If you look at Cam and if you look at some of the best safeties that's played this game and they're sure Hall of Famers first ballot, they're not that fast. So he's very, very, very fast. As a matter of fact, when I was scouting him in the offseason,
he got corner speed. That's corner speed.
Yeah, and he flips his hips very good. What I named him in the offseason is Baby Ed Reed. And so I think he has the developing to be an all-pro. I mean, and he don't even need a lot of size. He comes up very aggressive. He makes good tackles. He has great ball skills, not just good, great, very instinctive. So he's somebody that can kind of hurt you, and I don't know how he's gonna play in a big game, because yeah, you did all that in college, now you're in the pros, but at the same time, he put it on film before.
Yeah.
And when you put it on film before, it's there. So Savage is a threat, and he's somebody even at a young age. I would recommend Dak stay away from him.
So would you say that he's more of is he more of a ball hawking safety, or is he more of a hitting safety, or is he more balanced?
He's balanced.
Hey, that's what you get. Hey, when you draft a safety in the first round, that's what you're drafting.
Yeah,
you're drafting a guy that's balanced. That's
balance is almost like an understatement. Like, he does all things well. Instincts well, tackle well, attitude, leadership. He the whole gambit. And so when Green Bay got him, most people had him as a second round grade. But when he went, nobody was like, what? No, like he was sorry. It was like,
where did you have him ranked on your board?
If you liked him, I had him as second round grade.
I know, as far as your safeties.
I had him as my 4th or 3rd safety.
Okay.
I know I had Adderley 1, Thornhill 2. I had Malik Hooker 3. Matter of fact, I had Malik Hooker over Thornhill. Yeah.
It's crazy because Green Bay took him in the 3rd, and then Thornhill, all them dudes was available for the Dallas Cowboys. Craziness.
Every one of them. And then, DK had a big day.
All right. Jamez says that's why we need to attack them passing first, then run. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like, I get where you guys are coming from on the pass and run, but I'm going to be honest with you, in this game right here, you want to run the ball, man, because you want to allow the clock to keep moving. You're at home. You want not even necessarily the momentum, but this is a defensive line that is not built to stop the run. You know what I'm saying? They're not, this is a defensive line that's in transition. That's why they let Daniels go. The reason why they wouldn't let Daniels go is because they're about to rebuild their defensive line. So it's like, they've invested in stopping the big plays with the safety.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they got the safety, because they want to know why? Because they know their defensive line can't stop the run. So that's going to leave them susceptible for big plays.
Right.
So what you do right now is obvious football. Like some of the we say this a lot. Some of the most smartest things to do is the obvious thing. You know what I'm saying? And the obvious is to establish the run, because you shouldn't even have to establish it run. It should be there.
Right. I like that.
More dressed up screens. Absolutely. I mean, hey, Renardo, that's a good point. I mean, as far as the screens, that's something that I've been talking about.
That out yet.
Yeah, we've been talking about screens for last year.
This would be the game to do it. Very, very, very good point, Ronaldo. I mean, great point.
But Jamez, I want to go back to your point though, because I understand, man. Because whenever I say run, I think when people say run, they say predictable.
Yeah.
I say run, they say predictable. No, you can run the freaking ball and not be damn predictable. Like, that's Kellen Moore's job. Like, bruh, you can disguise runs. Like, think about this. Last week, the Dallas Cowboys ran 80%, it was like 85% shotgun. And out of that shotgun, 80% of it was what passed. You know what I'm saying? And then we ran like 70% strong pro formation with a fullback line, with Dak under center. And guess what? Every time, 80% he was under center. What did we do? We ran the ball. Like it doesn't matter what the hell you're calling. At some point, if you're playing John Madden football, you're gonna recognize that. Like, bro, every time he gets in this formation, he's running the ball.
Yeah.
Like, it's the offensive coordinator's job. Like, you can be a running team and not be predictable. Like, that's very possible.
Yeah, and this is the game that you want to kind of treat almost like a playoff, because this is a home field advantage game. Like, you'll be looking back at this game if you lose this game, so you want to go ahead and unleash some of the cards if you've been holding them, Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
This is where you want to kind of lay down some of your chips. It's certain teams that you have to win the strategic advantage of the playoffs part, and that is this team. When they are already trending to dangerous and they starting to win and Aaron is not heated up, that says that you need to go and step on them and stomp on them.
Yeah.
Don't let, it's almost like a king what they'll do if they figure that what did they do in all the Game of Thrones? They try to kill the kid before he grows up and kill him.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do Aaron. So I think we do it. And I think it's definitely valid. But one of the things, going back to Jaquez, throwing the run, See, in the first 3 games, let's be honest, Dak could have took a whole nap, an entire nap, went all the way to sleep, out cold, with that protection they was giving him. So we saw something totally different with the Saints. And I learned something today that we have to consider, and then you have to think about this strategically, right? That guess who number 1 in pass rush?
Right now?
Right now. Green Bay. So that means it's a chance that they can be in Dak's face. I want us to run the ball.
Yeah, because you got to think like this, man. With that offensive line, think about this. You're going to have 2 people. There's a possibility that you may have 2, might even 3 guys on your offensive line starting who haven't played all season.
Going against the number 1 pressure team.
So why would you want to put Dak in that? Like anything that happens honestly, bro, I want quick football. I want Dak to get the ball out quick.
Yeah. What you want?
Because both your ends, like there's a chance that both your ends, your blind side, and now let them know about. I know I'm gassing it all the way up here, but I actually got hope in Cam Fleming because I feel that he can play, or he should be able to play.
I mean, he's good for a couple of pressures and maybe a sack, but he's not going to be a meltdown. You know, and Dak gonna have to be aware, and they should shorten his reads. And then
that means 3 strep drops.
Yeah, shorten his reads, and it's not playing scared. It's like this is the hand we was dealt, and it's like what's the best strategic moves with the hand that we was dealt.
Yeah. And
the best strategic moves is sometimes you got to say, man, don't come out with confidence, and that's exactly how we messed up the Atlanta game. We treated at that time Chaz Green like he's okay, he's gonna hold up, keep dropping back, and guess what happened?
Yeah, getting killed.
That got sacked 8 times.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful when you say, I want him to just keep throwing. It's like certain games, you want to kind of scope the environment first.
Yeah.
And that's why I said at least 3 committed series, the first ones to the run.
Yeah.
And then another thing you want to see early is if the run worked, we already won the game.
Yeah.
Like, think of it like that. If you see early that Zeke is getting 5.5 a carry, oh,
game's over.
The game is over. That means you giving Dak 2nd and 5 on average. Bro, what you think Dak gonna do on dink and dunk with Witten back and all the maturity we have, the guys that can find those soft spots?
Yeah.
We gonna be walking downfield. So it's no. I don't want to see a cocky Dallas like we heard the noise and we're not going to go to the run because the Saints whooped us. I want them to say, you know what? The Saints just whooped us.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What we gonna do is we gonna take the pressure off our offensive line. We gonna let them attack this game.
Yeah, and I know Leo Collins has not been ruled out for this game, but there's nobody on the face of the earth that's gonna tell me that he's gonna be at 100%.
No.
So since I know that, I'm gonna put him in the same bucket as people who ain't playing. Why? Because I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. What am I putting my hope in? I'm putting my hope that he's been limited at practice for the last 2 days.
Right.
And that says that he should be limited in the game.
Yeah.
So that means that there might be a chance that Brandon Knight might play at some point.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, let's just be real. There will probably be a chance that he's going to play at some point.
And then you know what we should do then?
You should honestly get the ball out of Dak's hand and run the ball as quickly as possible.
I think we should do what we did against Minnesota in 2016. In 2016, our right tackle free was getting destroyed in the first.
That was Dak's statistically worst game of the season too.
It was it was one of his shortest yardage games, and what they did though is they slowed the game
Their
down.
defense was really good that year too.
Minnesota.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, they was good.
That was
good.
hell yeah.
That was a good year for Minnesota.
That was a really good year for them.
But what we did is we slowed the game down, and we added a 6th offensive lineman. It was the first time I saw us do that. And it was a smart contingency plan for Free to play bad, and he played bad. But they helped him, and we won the game.
Yeah.
Now, it became very, 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 very slow, and we had 4 holding calls, so it was a grimy, ugly game, but we won it.
Yeah.
So it's to me, you have to consider your tackles on how you played the game and how you strategize the game. You can't go in like, oh, those guys are going to hold up just because their bodies. No, it don't work like that. It's certain moves that you can make strategically that'll get your quarterback literally killed. And it's like, see, like New England, I'm going to give one more example. In a game like this, you know what New England would do? They would throw a lot to the running backs. They would use Pollard and Zeke to death on leak outs.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they would do. So it's so many different ways to protect Dak and play safe, good football without just running in the middle too.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this: I don't want Dak. Like, this is a game where I don't want him sitting back there like trying to do 5-step drops.
No.
Unless it's like a play action pass and we have a guy burning down the sideline.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't make sense. Like, why am I gonna put Cam Fleming in that position today? You know what I'm saying? Like, today. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he have to do it, then he have to do it.
Right.
But why? If the running game is working, then it's like you guys, we have to be okay with like boring wins. Like, if we would have beat the Saints 12-10, I would have been perfectly fine with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just mad we didn't win the game. You know what I'm saying? But I would have been perfectly fine with it, because you got to be okay with boring wins.
Yeah.
Like, we can't, like, you got to be okay with boring wins. The Patriots won a game last week, what, 13-10 or something like that?
Right.
Like, nobody's tripping on them.
Right.
Like, yo, we got to be okay with winning by any means necessary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why, like, at the end of the day, you know, you look at the film. The film is going to tell you what you need to do to be successful. What's next point needs to happen is we're going to talk contingency plans. What happens if this defensive line has a game like the Saints out of their mind and starts playing? Then what do we do?
Green Bay.
It's
likely that'll happen.
So chance it, you never. I'm just saying, hey, you know, pigs will fly.
likely.
Pigs will fly at least once.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to know, and this is something I think that we didn't prepare you guys well for last week, because I just don't think we've done a good job at it, but we're gonna do a better job, and that is making sure that we have contingency plans. So when we have situations like this, because I felt like a lot of people. I know y'all got love for West Coast, but a lot of people was like, West Coast, you the one that said we should run the ball against the Saints. You the one that said. I'm like, yes. But when we realized it wasn't working, I was the guy saying, throw the damn football. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't saying just run the ball and just run the ball and just just run the ball. Like, what happens to kill? That's not working. Try something else.
Yeah, and then you said, because it's a primary way of
And
attack.
that's what we did not do against the Saints. Like, we just said, no, we're not going to change.
And so it's like a primary way of attacking. It's a pass-happy offense, or NFL, but we're a running team. So that means there's obviously two different major styles of attacking the defense. So you said the running game, but you also said, and people got to look at full context as well, adaptable. So it's when you go into a game and you can be committed to the run, but you can also scrap it.
Thank you.
You know, so it's one of those things to where if people listen to the whole context of what we say on this show, I think they'll get it better, because nobody should be attacking anybody when you said the whole context. You know, so it's one of those things though, when I look at the advantages that we have, and it is an eerie feeling kind of in the air, I think partially what's going on is we lose a lot to Green Bay. Green Bay is kind of like one of those ones that got away, that you kind of stole your heart, and even though you grown and you got your swag back, you see it every now and then, you be like, man, you just hurt me.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's how we feeling right now. It's like we saw the Dez, right, catch through Green Bay. You know, we all had that hope for the Super Bowl. So it's like we all, I think, kind of anxiously want this game. You know, but I also know that Dak, Zeke, Tank, and a lot of people know the history.
Yeah.
They feel it. And I think they ready to come out. And I think it's a leadership type team. They said that Tank was practicing out his mind, you know, this last practice, out his mind. So everybody, they get the significance of this game, and this is what I feel in my heart. I feel like they also know they better.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like it'll be that much more disappointing to say, nah, we're not going to let him come in wounded again without his number one and all this stuff and his corner out and be like, we just lost to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I think it's too much pride on our team for that.
Yeah, and my last point, man, I think also this game too is it also is going to show Man, I hope ain't no kids on this team, on this feed, man. And if y'all is, y'all go to bed. It's gonna show the nuts, man.
Yeah.
Like, we just lost. Like, you know, what's your re-up game like? When you take a L, how do you handle that? Like, I don't really measure a man's speed and how someone really get down in their perseverance on how they are when the lights is on and it's glamps and glamour. Like, how do you maneuver and act when you take an L?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you go in a game and you're not your identity, when you don't how do you bounce back with that? Do you scrap it? Are you running around trying to create the wheel all over? Or are you consistent? Can you get back on track? Can you self-correct yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's always going to have moments of just weirdness in a season. That's why seasons are 16 games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But can you get yourself back on track?
Multiple fumbles. It was weird.
It was weird, bro. Like, it wasn't it wasn't you.
Yeah.
Nothing about that game was you.
Well said.
So can you get back to being you? Like, or do you have to find yourself all over again? Like, that's Jason Garrett, brother. That's your head coach.
And I think he can, because the one thing that I'm excited about, brother,
3-5,
is we have not seen both sides play well yet.
Nope. That's a good point.
So it's like,
explain that a little bit.
So the first 3 games, the offense clearly cleared the defense. The first 3 games, it was a lot of rumors out there and evidence that LVE and Jalen wasn't playing hot ball football.
Nobody was.
Right, and then the D-line.
On the defense.
Yeah, the D-line was slow and all of that. That was the beginning. The offense was throwing it around. Number 1 MVP candidates, multiple 100-yard runners in one game. You know, they was doing it. And then it switched game 4. So game 4 was the defense that was dynamite and killing, and Quinn out there killing, and Sack got him. I mean, Collins got him some, and then Tank got him some. Yeah. If you look at it, everybody ate. So it was a really good game defensively. I mean, an amazing pick by Wuze, just smooth, just balanced. I mean, we was watching great defense, but we didn't see the offense. So when that comes together,
I mean, you're gonna see 38-10 scores. Like, that's what you're going to see. Like, I'm going to keep it real. If the Cowboys don't, I ain't trying to go back to last week, but, you know, it is what it is. You're going to see a lot of 38-10 scores. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I mean is you're going to see teams that can't score and the Cowboys who can.
Right.
Hey, man, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us tonight. We're going to be doing a show tomorrow in the morning before we do our event, so make sure you guys tune in. Also, tomorrow at 3 p.m., that's Texas time, 3 p.m. Central, we're going to be live with Jalen Smith. We're going to be having our event hosted by YLMC right behind me right now.
Yeah.
We'll be live in the building tomorrow with Jalen Smith tomorrow. We're going to have an interview session with him, brought to you by Cowboys Packages, man. Hey, man, I had to come up in the world, man. Now we talking. Hey, it's so crazy. What my boy he said, I remember when I used to sit in the nosebleed. Now I'm on the side with the athletes. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Mama, we made it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be talking to the hot boy himself, Jalen Smith. Yeah. Hey, if you guys have any questions, we got some questions already lined up. But, hey, if you guys have any questions, make sure you inbox. I'm going to be picking one person's. I'm going to let Boss Cowboy pick a question. I'm going to pick a question. So 2 people's questions are going to get picked, and we're going to read those out and give you guys a shout-out. So make sure you tune in to tomorrow at 3 p.m. to get your question. If you have a question for Jalen Smith, make sure you inbox it. All right? You guys already know what it is, man. It's your boy West Coast, man. Who this? This
Boss
hat.
Cowboy, man.
With that hat, man.
Your voice matters.
You already know it. Hey, man, you already know what it is. Never look down because the star's up. Peace.